Well, hello everybody. It's your boy Coach Heavy Hands, and I'm back in your life with an update from Israel Adesanya. His first time reflecting upon the fight on his YouTube channel Style Bender. Check it out. I mean, he makes some excellent content. I wanted to know, and we're gonna get right into it. What did Sean Strickland do? How, based on Izzy's perception, a guy that has an insane fight record, how did this guy that shouldn't on paper have been able to stand with him for 5 minutes, what did he do? I want to hear it from his mouth. He just released a long video. I mean, not long. It's like 25 minutes long or less. And anyways, here it is. Let's dig into it. What did Sean Strickland do? What did he do well to change Izzy's performance?
The way he worked, he just never let me get into my rhythm at all.
Let's talk about it. Yeah, what are some of the things that he and his coaches did well? Because they were pretty upfront. Everyone knew what their game plan was going to be. Forward pressure, cut you off. And he said he was willing to give.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
To take one.
He said they thought they were gonna wrestle. If anybody sees this video, please leave a comment. Tell me if you agree. I mean, who really thought Sean Strickland was gonna come out there? And I'm sorry, I know I'm not a fighter. I don't have the experiences he has. So who am I to be critiquing his thought? But you've got Eugene Behrman in your corner. I mean, who would have thought Sean Strickland is gonna come out and wrestle Izzy? When have we ever seen that out of this guy? I don't know that he can do that. He can intend on doing that. That could be his plan. But I don't think Sean Strickland has that capability. I'm not sure he gets in there and thinks he can wrestle.
Yeah, but just
not that he can. Not that he thinks he can't wrestle. It's that he's drawn to the fight. Look at him in his sparring videos. He's drawn to the fight.
Wasn't able to just get my rhythm because of his pressure. He was right there constantly, and whenever I was setting him up, because he's right there, then his coach would help him, and I'd be like, fuck. And yeah, it was just good game plan from their end, but also for me, I wasn't able to adjust on the fly. And we're gonna break that down another time, but no.
Okay, so Izzy said he's gonna break that down another time. I want him to dig into that. I want him to go a layer deeper here, because I don't know if you're making excuses at this point. Because what Sean Strickland did to you, Israel Adesanya, in that fight, he has done to other men. Using that, his style didn't change. He didn't do something different. He didn't start fighting differently. He didn't do that at all. He basically came at you with the same technique. So I would like to learn a little bit more about that.
It was his night. It was his night, and yeah, he got it done. I made another dream come true.
Talk about how
he really did. Sean Strickland's released videos. He appears to be very thankful to the fans specifically.
I always take a video for you guys. You guys support me when I fail. You guys support me when I win. This fight happened because all you guys reaching out. You guys made this fight happen. So my team, my training partner, my fans, thank you guys. On to the next.
And I find that pretty cool, actually. It's interesting to watch a guy that really was, born with nothing, really rough beginnings with his dad, apparently being abusive, not a good relationship with his parents, had a lot of bad influences, and he apparently, he's turned his life around. I mean, that's a pretty former skinhead. Now he, backs off of that. And that's a redemption story there. That's an interesting story to see.
how good his defense was, because at some stage during the fight you mentioned that you couldn't find your jab.
Yeah, even like I said it before the fight. I think his guard is like just real unique and unorthodox. So I was able to find this. I wasn't able to find my jab, and I'm able to find my jab. I can find the chin. I'm very confident in that. But yeah, it was just his guard was just good. It was good defense and good offense. Well-rounded game.
Let's talk about the first round. He rocked you, and
that's interesting. I mean, he really didn't give very much insight towards the end there, but what would change? That's the question. What would change? Honestly, what would have changed in this next fight? Because you might not be able to find your jab in this next fight either. So let's move on. Let's move on. Actually, let's move on to the next to talking about what his coaches were doing. I'm trying to dig through this. What his coaches were saying in the corner. I want to dig into that. I found that to be fascinating, actually. So let's take a quick listen to that, and we will digest what we hear. Let's go.
Couldn't go.
What were your coaches telling you in between rounds as the fight was playing out? Because Eugene said there was a bit of a disconnect with what they were seeing and trying to communicate that to you. And
maybe I wasn't tapped in. Maybe I just like sometimes just lag, a little bit of lag. Because even after he told me what he meant, and I was like, he wanted me to, when he talked about that, and I was like, okay, bet that's what he.
And Eugene Behrman spoke about that in the post-fight press conference. He was like, yeah, we just weren't connecting. We weren't on the same wavelength. And it's interesting. Like, is that Izzy's flaw? It's not his. He's got this great offense. He looked like he had very good stand-up, defense. If it's his mentality, if he gets to a place where, like he said, he's like it's been noted, he's so connected with his emotions and his perception of the world and his ability to influence the world with his mind and his perception, that sometimes you can't reach him. Sometimes you can't, even if you're his coach, you can't touch him in the most important moments when you need to communicate, when he needs to modify and he needs to change. He can't, because he's so wrapped up in himself, essentially. That could be an interesting. That's a very interesting possibility.
Like just a little bit of a lag between communications, I think. Yeah.
Is that like also you not being as locked in mentally going into that fight? Because the comparison from 287 to 293 is like...
Someone said something to me. I think it was AB. AB said, he said as soon as the opponent switched, he said like almost instantly, I was like, I went from, with Dracus, I went like, I'm gonna fucking kill this dude. Like I had this thing about me. He said like when the opponent switched, he just noticed. I was like, okay, I'm gonna whoop this dude. Like I'm gonna whoop this dude. Like going from I'm gonna murder this motherfucker. I'm gonna fucking kill this guy to, oh yeah, I'm gonna whoop this dude. So that's something AB just happened to mention.
And that to me was the most important thing that I heard regarding Izzy's reflection on like Sean's, his fight with Sean and what Sean did to him essentially in that fight. Part of it was, Sean's defense just being insane. And the other part of it was the switch. Dracus du Plessis, DDP, was the initial opponent. And there was this heat there, which the way Izzy handled it after the DDP versus Robert Whittaker fight, and I think Izzy was brought in the ring and just acted like a clown, in my opinion. I mean, that's just me. There was heat there. And there was a lot of interest from fans, including myself. Like, I wanted to see that. I still want to see that fight badly. I would love it in South Africa or in wherever they can put that. That would be insane. That fight would be massive. But, you know, that fight got switched out, and you got Izzy going from I want to murder this guy to I'm going to fight him. I'm going to beat him up. This is the competition. Yeah, that's interesting. But, you know, he's saying that's a difference, and I understand that. But was he feeling like he wanted to murder Brad Tavares? And if so, why? I don't think he did. And this sounds a little bit like it could be an excuse. He might be still, I don't know. I'm. It's hard to digest. It's hard to listen to that comment and that type of reflection and decide either way, you know. But, you know, I want to know what you guys think. I want you to leave a comment, hit that like, hit that subscribe. Let me know what you think of Izzy's reflection on Sean Strickland's, you know, performance and ability to really shut him down in the ring, and then what his coaches were communicating to him and what he wasn't. Basically, the lack of communication between he and his coaches, and Izzy's mentality coming into that fight. Let me know what you think. Shout out to everybody that has been watching the last couple of videos. Thanks a lot. I appreciate you so much. And until next time, I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace. I'm out.